We've been using Premier fences for about 10 years. Started out with chickens and used them for chickens for a long time. And we found that there are two enemies. That Premier likes to tell you that the number one enemy is the lawnmower, and that's definitely true. I would say not just the lawnmower, but all of the farm implements. I've caught them with a scrape blade and other things. But another good enemy of the Premier fence is floodwater. And that's because it catches everything, which I guess is what makes it a good fence. But we have this low-lying area here, and our plan once we get a little more time is to go ahead and set up a short length of high tensile across this low spot. And that way when we want to pasture this area or rotate to this area, we can just connect the ends of our Premier fence to a length of high tensile. And if we have like a 7-strand high tensile through here, the water would be able to flow through it just fine, and then the animals would still be equally contained, I believe. We'll have to try it and report back. But this was a relatively minor rain, and you can see just at the bottom here, any of this little trash that comes along comes and gets caught in the fence. If you have an area that's subject to flooding, keep that in mind as you plan what type of fence to use. My brilliant wife had the idea to set up this scrap of fence that we have here as a filter, because the fence catches whatever comes down, leaves and sticks and things. It's a really great idea because this little scrap wasn't doing us much anyway, but it saves the main fence by catching most of the debris. And once the water stops flowing, we'll come out and clean all this out. We went a lot of years without any gates from Premier, and thinking, oh, we don't need gates, we'll just open up the fence, but they sure are pretty handy with a couple of minor limitations. One is that up here at the top, they for some reason don't glue anything together, and you have to glue the little cap that comes on the post, this piece right here, to glue that on. But we also found that it was worth buying their little orange clip jumpers. And like if I'm just coming through the gate, I don't even have to unhook the jumper. I just lower this like a V and walk through. If we're gonna lead the animals through, we might pick it up like this, let them walk under it, and if we need to disconnect it, it's no big deal. But it sure is nice to be able to just tie all this together at the corner. And right here where we have the pig fence, where we transition to pig fence, we try and make all of our connections and transitions at a corner, because we have a nice high conductivity spot here. And that helps us out with keeping all the fences strong. When the pig was little, we kept his little short fence inside the tall fence, gave him a corner of the tall fence pasture. But as he got bigger and got the idea that he liked to chase goats, we put him outside. And he's also, at this age, a little less threatened by predators, so we're not as worried about him getting eaten as we are about him being the predator. So now he's outside the tall fence. And I think that's probably a good plan for the next time we do a pig too.